You are standing at the threshold of a frequency that has been buried for 2,000 years under layers of translation and human dogma. Imagine the sound of the voice of Jesus vibrating through the air of Galilee, not as a religious icon, but as a master of the living breath. Your soul recognizes this resonance, even if your mind has forgotten the specific syllables that once commanded the very elements of creation. 2. Day. The noise of the modern world is designed to keep your internal frequency in a state of constant fracture and exhausted survival. But what if a single Aramaic word could act as a key to lock the gates against anxiety and open the doors to divine abundance? This is not a lesson in history, but a direct invitation to step into the same spiritual authority that walked the earth centuries ago. We are about to strip away the confusion and return to the raw, pulsing energy of the original language that shaped the heart of the Master. Prepare yourself, because the shift you have been seeking is not found in more effort, but in the restoration of your original sound. The journey into the ancient power of the language of Jesus begins with understanding that words are more than just labels for objects or concepts. In the original Aramaic thought process, a word is a literal extension of the being, a vibration that carries the actual substance of what it describes. When we speak of shlama, we are not merely wishing for a lack of conflict, but we are invoking a state of total structural integrity within the human soul. This is the foundation of everything Jesus taught regarding the inner kingdom, which he described as being already within your reach if you knew how to tune your instrument. Modern languages have flattened these vibrant meanings, leaving us with hollow shells that do not have the power to penetrate the subconscious mind where our deepest blocks reside. To truly understand the authority of the Master, we must first realize that he was operating from a frequency of absolute unity with the Source. This unity is encoded in the very vowels and consonants of the Aramaic word that served as the blueprint for his miracles and his profound peace. Every time you breathe, you have the opportunity to reconnect with this ancient rhythm that was never meant to be lost to the passage of time. As you begin to listen with your heart rather than just your ears, you will start to feel a subtle vibration returning to your bones and your spirit. This is the awakening of the dormant light that has been waiting for the correct sonic key to finally turn in the lock of your destiny. Understanding these frequencies is the first step, but mastering their vibration in your daily life is where the true miracle happens. I receive many messages asking for the correct pronunciation and sequence of these sounds, so I have prepared 2 sacred guides to help you bridge this gap. You can find the link pinned in the comments to begin your practical journey today. When Jesus spoke to the crowds, he wasn't just giving them information. He was literally repatterning their energetic fields through the resonance of his voice. One of the most misunderstood aspects of his ministry is the specific way he used the Aramaic word to address the physical and emotional ailments of those who sought his help. He understood that the human body is a manifestation of sound, and that disease or poverty is simply a dissonance in the original music of the soul. By speaking the word ifata, which means to be opened, he was not just giving a command to ears that could not hear, but to a spirit that had become closed to the flow of life. You must realize that the same potential for opening exists within you right now. Regardless of the limitations the world has tried to place upon your shoulders, the sacred language allows us to bypass the critical filters of the logical mind and speak directly to the cellular level of our existence. As you adopt the mindset of the Master, you begin to see that your words are the tools by which you carve your reality out of the infinite field of possibilities. The power of Jesus was not an exclusive gift, but a demonstrated path that we are all invited to walk if we are willing to reclaim our linguistic heritage. This reclamation requires a shift in focus from the external circumstances to the internal frequency that you are projecting into the world. When you align your breath with the ancient sounds, you create a sanctuary of light that no darkness or lack can successfully penetrate or diminish. If this teaching is stirring a deep resonance in your heart, it is a sign that your soul is ready to return to its original blueprint. To support you in this transition, my guides explain the layers of meaning behind the first sacred words, offering you a path to clear the interference of the world. The link to access these tools is waiting for you in the pinned comment. Let us look deeper into the concept of Abwoon, the word that begins what many know as the Lord's Prayer, but which carries a much more cosmic significance. In the ears of those who heard Jesus speak, this was an invocation of the birthing process of the universe. a recognition of the Divine Father-Mother as a flowing source of light. When you use this specific Aramaic word, you are tapping into the generative power of creation itself, moving beyond the idea of a distant deity to a present reality. This frequency is particularly potent when you are facing situations of lack or when you feel that your creative energy has been completely drained by the demands of life. Jesus used this resonance to remind his followers that they were children of the light, born from a source that knows no limits and recognizes no boundaries. By centering yourself in the sound of the source, you begin to dissolve the illusions of separation that cause so much suffering and anxiety in our modern world. It is the bridge that allows you to walk through the storms of life with a steady heart, knowing that the substance of the Master is also the substance of your own being. The ancient teachings emphasize that we do not pray to change the mind of the divine, but to change our own frequency until it matches the divine will. This alignment is the secret to the spiritual authority that allows a person to stand in the midst of chaos and speak peace into existence. Every syllable of the original language was designed to facilitate this alignment, acting as a tuning fork for the human spirit to return to its natural state. As you practice these sounds, you are not learning something new, but you are stripping away the static that has prevented you from hearing your own inner truth. The application of these codes extends into the realm of our relationships and how we interact with the world around us on a daily basis. Jesus often spoke of the Aramaic word known as Rachma, which is frequently translated as love but actually refers to a womb-like compassion that nurtures and protects. This is not a passive emotion, but an active, protective force that seeks the highest good for all beings through the power of divine connection. When you carry this frequency within your heart, your presence becomes a healing balm to everyone you encounter, radiating the light of the Master without saying a single word. This is how the ancient masters were able to transform entire communities, not through political power or coercion, but through the irresistible pull of a higher vibration. You have the ability to cultivate this same resonance within yourself by meditating on the sounds and meanings that Jesus held most sacred during his time on earth. It requires a commitment to inner purity and a willingness to let go of the grievances and judgments that keep your frequency locked in a lower, more heavy state. As you clear your internal temple, you make room for the spiritual authority that is your natural birthright as a being of light and sound. The language of the Master serves as a shield against the negativity of others, allowing you to remain centered in your own power regardless of the environment. You are no longer a victim of the world's shifting moods, but a conscious creator who brings the peace of Shlama into every room you enter. This is the practical reality of living a transformed life, where every breath and every word becomes a contribution to the restoration of the world. As we conclude this exploration of the ancient codes, we must address the final seal of spiritual authority that Jesus demonstrated throughout his life and his transition. The Aramaic word that represents this total surrender and victory is Amen, but not as a simple ending to a prayer. It is a declaration of absolute certainty and grounding. It is the sound of the soul saying that it is done, that the vibration has been set, and that the physical reality must now follow the spiritual decree. When you speak this word with the correct intent, you are anchoring your transformation into the very earth, ensuring that your inner shifts result in outer changes. Jesus did not leave his followers with a set of rules, but with a living transmission of power that was intended to grow and multiply through the generations. By returning to the Aramaic roots, you are taking your place in that lineage of light, reclaiming the tools that were always meant to be your guidance and your strength. The modern era has forgotten the potency of these sounds, but the universe has not, and the field of light remains as responsive today as it was in the first century. You are invited to move beyond the role of a spectator and become an active participant in the divine mystery that is unfolding within your own heart right now. The restoration of your power is not a destination you reach, but a frequency you inhabit with every conscious choice you make to align with the Master. You carry the signature of the Source within your DNA, and the ancient sounds are simply the reminders that trigger the awakening of your true, eternal self. Walk forward with the confidence of one who knows the secret language of the heart and the undeniable authority of the Spirit. We have traveled today from the sound of the first breath to the final seal of divine authority, uncovering the hidden path that Jesus laid out for all who seek true transformation. You now hold the awareness of how a single Aramaic word can shift your entire reality, from healing your body to restoring your peace and activating your spiritual abundance. This knowledge is a sacred trust, a light that is meant to be lived and shared through the very vibration of your existence in this world. Remember that the Master did not speak to impress the mind, but to awaken the spirit to its own inherent power and its inseparable connection to the divine source. Visit Divine Light Academy at the link below to access my complete guides and start your journey into the living language of the Masters. But before you go, I want to hear from you. What did you feel during this session? Comment the word restoration below if you felt a shift in your energy today. We read every response, and your testimony strengthens this entire community of light. We are just scratching the surface of this ancient power. Get ready, because in our next video, I will reveal even deeper Aramaic codes that unlock spiritual authority you've never imagined. Make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on so you don't miss this unfolding revelation. Right now, before you close this video, come to the comments and tell us, what did you feel? What shifted? We read every single response. And if this teaching found you today, subscribe to this channel. Every week, we go deeper into the ancient frequency codes that were always meant to be yours.